Hey, this is Mike.
This is Rob.
This is Andy.
This is Sean.
And we're Aries, and you're watching Shockwave TV.
Okay, guys. You guys are here at Shockwave Records. Thanks for coming out today.
No problem.
You're here because you're one of our featured artists of the year for 2013. You guys did really well in the competition. How did you feel about the competition?
Intense. We were up against some really tough competition, and round one and round two. The names changed a little bit, but we still had about a good handful of guys we had to keep an eye out for to stay ahead of. Intense.
A lot of heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Well, you guys actually had a really big year last year. You played some big shows. You went on tour. Why don't you guys talk about that? How did that go?
2013 was definitely one of the more intense years for us. We made our first steps in Chicago, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. We kept busy, and we also had what I think we can all agree upon is were two of our most successful shows ever. We had played with a band called the Protomen, a big rock opera group that has been making waves for quite some time. And we were very lucky enough to play with them on two shows back-to-back in Virginia. And we have a ton of new fans just from those shows alone.
Awesome. Now, do you guys have any bigger shows coming up you want to talk about?
Well, we have a show with Metal Church, March 8th. So we're expecting that's going to be pretty huge, hopefully. I mean, those guys are metal icons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a return show in Virginia as well. Our first big show with the Protomen was at Empire in Springfield, and
Crazy.
We have that Battle of the Bands coming up too, right?
April 10th, we'll be doing that at Angels Rock Bar.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Aside from that, is that our whole list of shows coming up? I think so. Yeah. I think that's what we got coming up. Mm-hmm.
Great. Now also, do you guys, since you guys started breaking out into different markets, plan on doing more of that this year and in some different areas, some places you haven't been?
No, definitely.
Well, the big thing about last year was we had to get our feet wet somehow, regardless if the experience wasn't optimal. For instance, your first shows in a different area are probably going to be pretty bad just because no one knows you yet. So returning back to a place like Chicago or Connecticut, it all depends on really how we are able to use the contacts we made from those shows and branch out. We have some friends we've made from those, and if we can manage to bring enough people that are interested in those venues again, then absolutely that'd be the next thing we decide to do out of state.
Would you guys be interested in jumping in on any festivals? I know they sometimes have some smaller bands do some festival work. I've seen some locals at M3. I know they have Prague Power USA that have some, regional talent. And would you guys be interested in doing anything like that?
Easier said than done, though, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, good friends of ours, Station, good arena rock band, they just got on that metal show, and I had no idea how they did that, but it was through a competition of some sorts, and I'm gonna try to figure out how the heck they did that. Definitely, those guys are really talented, so it was no surprise that they had big stuff coming. But absolutely, we're definitely trying to do that kind of thing.
A lot of the time, it's about having the right contacts. Maybe Shockwave can help you with some of that.
Be excellent.
Now you guys are working on a new album, some new material coming this year. Mm-hmm. Tell us what you got going on, and if you have an expected release date.
Don't think we have a release date yet, but
We already have 3 tracks already recorded and available. iTunes, Reverb Nation, all that jazz.
Well, at the moment, we're shooting for about a June release if things go well. It's our first time using Kickstarter, so at the moment it's if things go according to plan, June. But it's a whole new environment for us, so it could be a little later, but at the moment it looks like June could be a very good solid release month.
Personally, I know, Rob, you do some really great theater stuff, and
well, for band stuff, we have a lot of cool stuff lined up for the Kickstarter. first off, we have a couple things we're going to have for people who help us out. We're looking into getting shot glasses with a new logo we've had designed for it, t-shirts, and we have one idea which it should work out, little thing we may have taken from our buddies at Sound of Thunder. We have some tunes we have written that could use some awesome like chanted vocals, and we talked with our engineer, he's down for this, but if people pay a certain amount, like like $200, something like that, you'll also get the album, all the goodies we have in store, and then you'll actually be able to be a backup vocalist on the chanted vocals on the album you're helping support. So that, right now, in terms of our projects, has been a big focus of ours, just finding ways to keep the new album interesting. Because compared to our first album, it's almost like a completely different band. And we just want to make sure people get how excited we are about this. It's really ambitious.
Is it going to be an EP or a full release?
Full release.
Full release, yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
You guys looking to do vinyl at all?
If possible. We've never done it, but if we can, I know Sin for Sin, they've been going that route, which is it's definitely eye-catching. So if
It's
possible.
making a comeback.
Right. I know I used to work at a Best Buy in the music section, and we were selling vinyls at the time too. People really stick by that. So we have enough influences from the 70s and 80s, so I guess we should release something, akin to that. Yeah, for us, that's basically what's going on. There's a little bit of theater stuff going on. You got a couple shows lined up, but at the moment, the big concern is Aries stuff. I know 1814's coming back for a couple shows in May and a couple months afterwards. And Landless Theater, they're doing a big production of the prog metal version of Sweeney Todd. Just got that announced, and I'm in another production called Rock Bottom. It's a black comedy rock opera. I'm trying to get some of our Shockwave buddies involved in that one, but kind of on the DL about that at the moment.
Right. Last time I spoke to you guys, you were looking for another guitarist. You guys originally had 2 guitarists in the band, and now it's just down to you, Sean.
Damn.
And you guys still interested in finding another guitarist to?
I mean, definitely. I mean, if it's kind of, catch-22, because, you want a great player who's not only a great player, but, like, reliable, can gel with the band. And, if you already have all those qualities, you're already going to be in a band because, why wouldn't you be? So that's kind of tough. But, I mean, we've been looking. We've kind of kept our ear to the ground. And we have a couple things lined up, or a couple prospects we're trying to work on. Can't really say anything about it. But, I mean, we're definitely, if you're interested, if you like what our sound like, hit us up. We'll definitely, try to set up auditions and stuff.
It's just all about taking the time to find the right person. And
Yeah, because it's not just about the technique. I mean, we've had some excellent players that work with us. They didn't work out for other reasons. You got to make sure someone's committed. It's very hard to find a guy, in their 20s that, at the drop of a hat, can be ready to perform in Chicago or Connecticut or, record or, put forward the time or the money. Being in a band at this stage, it is a commitment. So finding someone that really can do that is a big priority.
If it was easy, everyone would do it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Andy, you're the newest member of the band. How's it like for drumming for Aries?
It's awesome, man. I mean, when I first heard them, they didn't really sound like any other band around here. And, I mean, we just gelled right away, and it's definitely been a blast playing with them.
Yeah, it was actually kind of unfair because we tried him out on the same day with like 2 or 3 other guys. I think he was like the first. And as soon as we heard him, we were kind of like, I already had my phone out and I was ready to just call the other guys, like, yeah, don't even bother. Like, it's a wrap.
that was the same day my whole neighborhood came down and yelled at us.
We were in between practice spaces at the time, and he was using his place. And
I just turned around, looked outside, and there's like 4 angry middle-aged white ladies coming down.
yeah,
Too loud.
I couldn't even make that
No.
day, so I was kind of just like waiting, look at my
Rolling
phone for
pen in
news.
hand.
Yeah.
Shake harder, boy.
So I was trying to I really can't make practices, but I was in class at the time, and so I'm on my phone all day long, just like hoping things are going okay, and I'm just looking at it going, oh man, because we never rehearsed at this place before. I didn't know these guys, the drummers that we were auditioning that night or that day, and so the whole time looking at my phone, neighbors,
That was
what?
terrible because I spent like a whole weekend just cleaning out that garage, making it nice, getting everything set up, because we're a weird family. We don't use our garage to put our cars in for some reason. We just store all our ridiculous crap
Garage,
there.
ooh, la-dee-da.
Yeah.
Mr. Fancy.
Man, angry white ladies kill everything, don't they?
Carl.
Take all the fun out of the world.
Yeah, and then figure I was into it.
That was a picture I had in my mind too. Like I was like, man, I really hope some older ladies with nothing better to do overhear it, because that's what they'll be doing that day is complaining. Yeah,
It's rock and roll.
Yeah, Andy's been a great asset. We've been dying to get a drummer that not just was committed and reliable, but someone that could also
Fucking double bass.
God, yeah, someone that could keep up, not just keep up in a technical sense, but could really have a chance to show their abilities. I mean, this guy, he's a technician. He learned our entire set in what, 3-4 rehearsals, something like that. It was ridiculous, but it's been a blast with him. And not to mention the fact that it's pretty easy getting things done. Like if again we had like a show in some out of state area, York, Pennsylvania or something. If I hit this guy up, it's a case of okay, when and where. You know, he's ready to go, and it's the biggest load off someone's shoulders when they know someone is. It's not a case of do I have to? It's just a case of when and where. I'm down.
Absolutely. Now you guys have had you've had some pretty big openers. I remember you guys did you opened for Sebastian Bach. You had the show with the Proto Men. You have Metal Church coming up. In an ideal world, is there a band that you'd really love to play with?
Oh man, that might take the whole interview.
If you had to pick one, each of you just kind of pick one band you'd like to do.
You start from right to left.
I don't know. Just as a personal, like, I would love to play with like one of my favorite bands, like Billy Talent or something like that. I mean, I don't know how well we'd fit with them, but
it'll be an interesting fit.
Yeah.
I feel like we wouldn't be too
Billy
far
Talent's
off,
kind of punk with a bit of a metal edge.
It's got a little like alternative
Yeah.
to it. I feel like we'd fit well with the audience, but I mean, they're my favorite band, my idols, so I mean, that's just personal for me.
Kiss. That's right off the bat. If we were to play with a band that brought the show, one of the main reasons I got into this was Kiss. I mean, I got into singing. I mean, I've been doing it for a while, but the main reason I got into rock singing was Psycho Circus. I heard that opening, that he did, and I was like, I want to do that. So yeah, Kiss. I mean, it's hard to find a band bigger than that to open for. So that would be a dream come true, and I hope they'd like us. You know?
If you did something like that, you'd almost have to try and upstage them. Not that could be done,
it's
but
almost an impossibility. I mean, maybe it's like having a fancier watch than Iron Man. You know, it's that's what they do. So it'd be kind of cool.
yeah.
There you go, man.
I mean, to put you on the spot.
It's not really, I mean, I'd probably have to say more newer stuff, like Story of the Year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be a real interesting fit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we do have a song with the breakdown we're working on, so I would definitely have to go there.
I would say definitely Christina Aguilera. Just seduce her with my sweet guitar moves. Or realistically, 80s Guns N' Roses. I feel like that'd be awesome. Just so I could just actually. I mean, they're one of my favorite bands, and they're the only band that I've never been able to see live, real Guns N' Roses. Because so just be able to watch that from the sidelines backstage and see it, that would just be great.
But it's not the 80s anymore, so
Don't remind me.
Guns N' Roses is just Axl. Although Slash has his solo project, maybe you can open for that.
Yeah, we saw how that turned out with the Super Bowl.
The Fergie thing.
Anything that's currently still has an incarnation that might actually happen?
I would say, I feel like Avenged Sevenfold, that would be awesome. Just because they're really the only band I can think of in the current scene that we could really fit with. Not that we're on their level technically, or even close, but I feel like if people like them, then they would like us as well. And that's really what's important, is just, making as many fans as possible and just...
Entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the name of the game.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate you guys coming out. Everybody out there, check out Aries. What's the best place they can check you guys out?
Well, 3 main sites. The main one is easy. It's ariesrocks.com, ARIAS, not the God of War one. Remember I had a discussion with a band before. I brought back Aries again, and he was like, "Man, why didn't someone name the band after God of War?" They have. There's like 1,000 of them. That's not the one. It's ARIES, rocks.com, and then you can find us on Reverb Nation, reverbnation.com/AriesRock, and we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/AriesHardRock.
What's Facebook?
It's what the kids are using these days, I've heard.
You guys don't use the Twitter or the Instagram or the...
We do. I keep forgetting we have that. It's linked to our Facebook account. So all I gotta do is put something on Facebook and it's on Twitter. We have followers, I think. So
Follows on MySpace too. So.
Yeah. We have like 10,000 fake profiles that follow us on MySpace. So.
They're all from Thailand and such.
Yeah, because
just beautiful, big-breasted women.
Yeah, you could
where are they at our shows?
You can have like bots. I mean, I was in an old power metal band, and that's what they used was a bot to get fake profile like friends and stuff. You could even like fraudulently put together your own plays, and I found out what that bot was, and you could have a lot of fun with that one. Like you could find a band where you knew that they weren't exactly the best band in the world, like some garage band, like some kid, and if you knew they were very arrogant about their abilities, all you have to do is hit the bot and watch their plays go to like 1 million in one night, and then watch them freak out because all you do is hit a button. And so you can act like an agent or something, like, oh my god, you guys are hot. But there's a lot of fun to that one. But after a while, Reverb Nation used to chronicle MySpace fans and whatnot. But lately, they actually just removed it because I think the same reasons I pointed out, that it's all fake. So
yeah,
we have Twitter fans. I don't know who's real or not, but we do have one. It's on our Facebook somewhere.
All right. Well, check out Aries. Doing some big stuff this year, and they're one of Shockwave Magazine's Artists of the Year for 2013.
Thanks for having us.
Good talking with you guys.
Thanks.